You do.
Oh, Lord. Hey, what's good for me is good for you. Come on, girlfriend. You're going to join me in this.
Now you can go.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. This is all about networking, so make sure you talk to one another, but it's also to help you elevate. Today, we're going to be giving you strategies on how to work smarter, not harder. But Yessie was so nice to loan us this beautiful, if you have not been through, check it out, model home. And she's going to talk to us about the property and how we can get clients here.
I love it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited that you are here and experiencing DRB Elevate. It's so funny when she said Elevate. I was like, well, we're DRB Elevate. DRB Elevate is the newest 55 plus community in Fort Mill. We're the only builder that's offering personalization in Fort Mill new construction. So we are so excited to be here. We've opened up in January, and since January, we've sold close to 40 homes. So we are extremely excited about that. We will have two products. We have the villas that we have a quick move-in building that can close in September that ranges between 2 and 3 bedrooms. And that pricing starts at $464,900. Primary bedroom down. Then we have our single family homes, which this is my enthusiast. It's my smallest. Ranch, 2 bedroom, 2 bath with the flex. You could build all my plans with a second floor. This home starts at $515,900. On average, it's about the customers that are building in here about $570 to $750. If they would to go to Design Center and pick all their options. The community is going to have 438 homes, 190 villas / townhomes, and 240 single family homes. The amenity center is going to be opening up spring of 2027, which if you know anything about new communities, you know that is really fast because typically builders take 2 years to build their amenity center or longer. We will have a 6,000 square foot clubhouse with the game room and a lounge area, a 3,000 square foot fitness center with a golf simulator.
Oh, golf simulator.
Yes. Fitness, cardio and strength training machines, 4 pickleball courts, a putting green, 2 dog parks, sidewalks on one side of the street. We'll have a pool. I always forget about the pool for whatever reason. It's not a given. We will have a pool, a lap pool, and a lounge pool. The HOA also maintains front and back, your landscaping and lawn maintenance. Even if you fence it in, they will come in. Just make sure you install a 4-foot gate. Weed, fertilization, and pine needles as needed. The HOA for the villas is $231 a month. And the HOA for the single family, it is $234 a month.
Nice.
Our build time is 6 to 7 months if they do decide to build from the ground up. What's nice about that is that, you know, if this is going to be my last home, I want to select my cabinets and my floors and be really attached to my selections. However, if you don't have time to select your cabinets and your floors, or personalize, because we have so many options, so many choices. We do have 2 quick-in move-ins for single-family homes that'll be ready in December. And then, of course, we have the villa townhomes that are ready in September, that they get closed in September. They're absolutely beautiful. And we do have currently 4 different home plans. So if someone does want to build from the ground up, we have 4 different home plans. And we do have 4 models currently, but one of them is closed because we ran out of those home sites. It was a fan favorite. So we have 3 models. Like I said, he's like, that was my favorite. Mine's too. We have 3 models currently open, and they're all absolutely beautiful. Any questions?
So can we see the models today?
Absolutely. They're all open. Yes.
Awesome.
Anything else? And we do pay 2.5% on full price. So it's not on base price.
Okay, not on base price.
It is not, design center options are not included. No. It is on full price. So if the purchase price ends up being $800,000 after they go to design center, that's what you get paid on, 2.5%.
Oh, y'all can get every design you want then.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. We do have an incentive this month for if you have anyone that's looking. If they decide to build, when they spend up to $60,000, they get half off. So they don't have to spend the full 60, right? So if they go to design center, I call that free money. They get free 30K of free money, right? That's girl math, Mo, girl math. 30K of free money. So it's like, oh, that granite is 4,000. It's really 2,000. Yeah, why not? And if you use my preferred lender, we are giving you $5,000 towards closing costs. For my villas that are going to be complete in September, we do have an incentive, flex cash, of up to $20,000, up to 20K.
What's the, so far with the 40 homes, the average design spend?
That's a great question, sir. 60,313.
That's where you get the 60.
Yep.
So, what are the restrictions for the neighborhood? Everyone have to be 55 and over that lives in this community?
No. So the CCRs, how it reads, the whole, like one person needs to be at least 55. One, so, you know, I could be 55. Well, my husband's 55. I am not. So if I didn't have a 16-year-old daughter, we could live here, right? But because I have a 16-year-old daughter, it takes me out the list. However, if you have anyone over the age of 19, so the CCRs reads, if you're anyone under the age of 19 cannot stay here for more than 90 days in a 12-month period.
So, anybody over 19 can?
Yes,
Okay, that
Yes.
works.
that works.
Awesome.
Yes.
Calculating my custody agreement right now.
Yeah. Yes. Any other question?
No,
No?
thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much for being here. Please, 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 I don't close until 6. So if you have time after this amazing meeting, please go. You're going to be impressed.
Yeah, you'll be going with
Do you
Yeah.
have a card?
I do. I will give you a card. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for having
All
me.
right. So, thanks, Jesse, again for allowing us to host here. This is a beautiful, beautiful property. Love the greenery, love everything I see. And I like that it's very close to everything. Shopping center, highway, and everything. So, let's get ready. Let's get started. So, I'm going to introduce our next two guests. You going to drive for her? The slides? Okay. So, Mo the Closer, if you have not heard about her, she's amazing. She's going to come to you and talk about how you can add her financial services to your portfolio to help turn your clients into returning clients. Mo?
Got it. Thank
Awesome.
you, Terry. Yeah, give me just 1 second to start this stuff. So, Mo, I'm glad that you were able to come and hang out with us. This is, like, if you know me, money is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's probably, so it goes along right with the girl math, yes. So, yeah, we were on brand with that. Perfect. So, but I am the CEO of Upstatus Capital. Upstatus Capital, we plug financial services divisions inside of real estate agents' businesses. It allows you to be the one-stop shop for your clients, whether they're your client who's purchasing their first home or your clients who are investors. We help those clients go from saying, hey, okay, you're gonna allow me to, you know, I get to use you for my realtor. Okay, well, if I need credit repair, then you gotta send me out somewhere else. Well, if I need to get business funding, then you got to send me over here. And if I need to get lending or private money, I got to go way over here. But what happens when you send those clients elsewhere?
You lose them.
I lose them. I forget about
You
them.
forget them.
Yeah.
You lose them. They never come back, right? So we've created programming to implant into your business that makes it very seamless for you to keep all of that business in-house. So you no longer only get paid on the transaction. Make sense? Perfect, perfect. All right, now, the next part of that, in making sure that your clients have full access to just being able to get across the finish line. Now, when I first started talking to people, they were like, yeah, credit repair is taking 9 months. They're charging my clients $200 per month, $300 per month. And if you got to have all this stuff. So the first thing I was talking to my team about is like, we got to find a solution to this. For one, why is it taking 9 months to do credit repair?
That part.
Why does it take 9 months to do credit repair? Okay. You get the credit report. You identify what's inaccurate, you get it, whether it's be removed, disputed, whether it's inaccurate, whatever the case is, it should not take 9 months. Okay, so we've created processes that are very simple for you and your clients. I'm going to let my operations manager talk a little more about that because that's not my wheelhouse. So, Jonathan, will you play this really quickly?
Oh, is it volume up?
Yeah.
You got the remote?
Yep.
And it is on 1.2 speed, so I think that should be okay though.
Fix that. How do I?
And if you have clients that come to us, more than likely you'll speak to Isaiah. Isaiah is our operations manager, so he handles like the day-to-day of everything.
About our three-step system for your client's credit repair process. Okay, so step one here, we have all of your real estate clients get sent to our Go High Level system after payment is completed. So once you guys looked at their credit scores, you figure out, hey, you may not get approved for this, you have to go through credit repair first. You guys send them an invoice, they pay the invoice, and they get accepted into our Go High Level backend system. Okay, they will then be contacted by all of our onboarding specialists once they're in our system, and they will start their document collection, i.e. driver's license, utility bill, POA, all that stuff, and their onboarding calls scheduled. Okay, this is very, very important. Once they get accepted into our Go High Level backend system, this is where the credit repair journey starts with onboarding them. We try to be as efficient as possible with our onboarding. It takes about 30 minutes max to get themselves onboarded with us. Okay. Step two, which is very important, after the onboarding is completed, they will get set up with their own client dispute portal to check in on any dispute updates we have. So their client dispute portal is basically a portal to where they can log in, see, for example, a collection account has been in dispute, or they got late payments removed, or they got charge-offs removed, or bankruptcies. All their updates will be in their own portal, and this gives a lot of our clients clarity and peace of mind when it comes to their credit repair journey, how long it's going to take, where they're at, progress, i.e., etc. Okay. So step three, throughout the month, they will be contacted by our customer support specialist to keep them updated on any changes we see on their credit. Okay. And it's a big thing I want to talk about when it comes to the credit repair. I want you guys to keep this in mind, is that credit repair works both ways. We can fix the credit as much as possible for our client, but our client also has to be responsible for their credit, meaning they can't get new late payments due, right? They gotta pay their credit card bills on time. They gotta pay their bills on time. Okay, so if it makes our job harder, or if we're seeing any resistance from our clients to where they're adding new late delinquent remarks on their credit report, we're going to communicate with them. Hey, what's going on? Susan? I just noticed that you got a new late payment. Is this something that's going to happen reoccurring? We're trying to help you fix your credit, but it's making our jobs harder right now because you're getting these late payments. All right, so we want to work with you, want to help you out. So here are some resources that we can give you to help you with the late payments that are being added, and just let us know if you need anything. All right, we want to be transparent with them because we don't want them to stick in credit repair for too long. Credit repair should be about a month or 2 months, maybe 3-4 months ish max, depending on what they have on their credit file. Client comes in with thousands and thousands, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 of debt. It may take 3 or 4 months maybe. Client comes in with a collection here or two, late payment here or two. They just need a little bump to get them to the closing table. It may take 1 or 2 months. Okay. Also, last thing I want to touch on before I go is that this system that we made is made to be efficient as possible. As long as you guys keep bringing us clients for you, we will make sure they get onboarded in a good enough time. We'll make sure they get this turnaround and disputes cleaned up in a good amount of time, and we make sure we get them back to you in a month or 2 so they can get closed at the closing table. It's a win for them, it's a win for us, it's a win for you because you close them. All right, that's all I have today.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you, Jonathan. All right, so very efficient process to get your client so that you don't forget about them and they don't forget about you, right? So life happens, the client, after 9 months, they probably have new late payments on there, so we're not even dealing with the same issues anymore. So like we got to get them in the house. But either way, so that's how we take really good care of your clients. Now, if you have investor clients, we have access to business funding for your investor clients and for you. And I'm going to talk about that part next, right? I don't believe that as an agent, this should be your only stream of income. You should have access to the same things that you're getting your clients access to. As an agent, this is pretty much a cash generated business. So as a cash generated business, where are you putting this money? You're using it to repair your own credit. Like I was in Atlanta and I was talking to a group and they're like, we don't even talk to people if their credit score is 5 something. And I'm like, I just talked to you and your credit score is 5 something. Like, what are you talking about? Right? What are you saying to me? You know? So we want to make sure that you qualify for the same things that you're getting other people qualified for. Right? We want to make sure that you're able to grow your wealth. So you're not in the hustle and bustle and the grind and you got to be doing the thing all the time. So you get to, at some point, run the business instead of actively be in the business. Okay? Which is the fun part. So what we do in that respect is we do the exact same thing for you. So if you need credit repair, let's go do credit repair. If you need access to capital, let's get you access to capital. Because if you're running your business on your own dime, you're already behind. Because think about if you gotta wait until you sell a home before you can actually market the next one. You have to wait if you're selling a home before you can go and get coaching or get training or go and generate leads or host an event. You've got to wait until you get paid. So you're literally waiting from commission to commission to commission before you're able to run your business. And the sad part is that's how most agents operate, right? So, and if it's just beginning, cool. But that should not be the long run. You should not want to spend your money, because every time I use my money for something, that's when something goes wrong. Every time. But if you're using somebody else's money, then you're a little less emotionally attached to it. Mm-hmm. And it's not saying it doesn't have to be paid back, but what it is saying is that you have more options because the bank is not going to run out of money before you do. I promise the bank is not going to run out of money before I do. So we got access to unlimited amounts of capital as business owners. Everybody wants to lend money to the profiles. So when you're walking around and you're saying, oh, okay, well, I got to wait till I close and then I'm going to do something. Well, you're already behind because let's be real, some agent who is running an operation that is trash, and we've all seen it. The operation is trash, but they got credit cards. So it's fine. They're using business lines of credit. So it's cool. So they're able to operate a whole lot faster than you are and market 5, 10 properties at a time while you running around here with a debit card trying to swipe so that you can go get some Bojangles to host your open house. So let's develop a business so that it's sustainable rather than it's so stressful to move through. We on the same page? Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect. All right. So that's pretty much the broad overview of what we offer at Upstatus Capital. I'm really excited to partner with everyone. I could talk about this literally all day. So, and I would be happy to speak with you one-on-one about your needs, your clients' needs, anything that my team can assist with, and we're here to help. So I'm going to drop this. Let me get out of the way. The QR code here, I think there are like 5 slots on my calendar, maybe 6. So jump on a spot so that we can talk about your business, your goals, and how we can move on to the next level together. So let's go. All right, that's it.
Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Anybody have questions?
Oh, I'm sorry.
for us?
Questions?
I do have a few.
Okay.
Hold on.
Get Terry in. I'm with it.
You ain't gotta put it on, you just hold
Yeah,
it.
just hold it.
Okay, I'm Crystal Scurry,
All right.
in the process of changing my name over.
Okay.
So with credit repair, is it like a tiered or is it a flat fee? How does that work with the credit repair?
So if you are one of our preferred partners, your clients get the benefit of that. So our normal credit repair pricing is $2,500. It's a flat fee. For preferred partners, which means you send us at least one deal every 90 days, and you start out as a preferred partner. So if you and I were to go in partnership today, as long as you send at least one client in 90 days, your client's credit repair and anyone that you refer would only be $1,000.
Okay. Sounds good. I think that's all I have for now.
You said you had a few questions. I was looking forward to it.
With the business credit, do they look at like your the so I know they take into account like all your business and your business credit score essentially, or do they?
Tell me what you know.
Okay,
And I wanna.
to my understanding, you have like a business score,
Okay.
just like a regular credit score.
Okay.
That different companies look at when making decisions to fund for business funding. So I'm assuming y'all look at the business number, and also in addition to that, how do y'all look at because it's business funding? Do y'all look at everything that's outstanding and say, or is there like, I guess I'm trying to ask if there like debt to income ratio limits, or do you look at someone and say, okay, this person might be overextended? What kind of decisions go into making? What kind of factors go into making decisions about the business credit and the amount you'll be able to lend on?
That is a perfect question, and I appreciate you asking that. That is probably the number one question that we get in regard to business credit and business funding. So there are two versions of how this could look. Okay, the first version is very entry level. We fix your personal credit first. Your personal credit, you use your personal credit to leverage for business credit access. It doesn't report to your personal credit though. The way that will work is, let's say you have your personal credit in order. And when I say personal credit in order, meaning minimum of a 680 credit score. The standard is 30% utilization. I don't like 30% utilization. I love 10% utilization or lower. 10% utilization, no late payments within the last 2 years, no derogatories, less than 2 inquiries per credit bureau, per major credit bureau. So that's the standard for what a good credit profile looks like. From there, you leverage that to say, let's get $50,000 from Chase. Now, if you have a $50,000 personal credit card with Chase and you go and like you're needing to buy all the things for your business, you're starting out from the ground, and you say you spend $40,000 on that, what happens to your personal credit?
Yeah.
Tanks. Let's say we have a $50,000 Chase credit card on our business side, then we go and we spend $49,999. What happens to your personal credit? Nothing. It's designed that way. It's designed for business owners to keep business debt separate from personal debt. So the first level is leverage your personal credit to get access to business credit. The strategies that we use is once we get you access to personal credit, then what I'm saying is, hey, if Chase gave you, and I'm saying Chase just because I love to go to Chase first, right? If Chase gave you $50,000, then let's pull that $50,000 out. Then let's go work on getting you access to other banks. So you go and start building relationships with other banks. So let's say we got BOA, we got a local bank. We use bank branch locator. So wherever you are, let's say you're in Houston, Texas. We're using bank branch locator to say, what banks are in Houston, Texas that give access to business capital? Then we're calling them and saying, hey, what are your business products? Okay, is that going to be a good fit for this business? Let's say we got a trucker, right? If it's a trucker, we want to make sure that they want to service truckers. So we're calling and we're saying, hey, well, I got John Brown. He's going to come and talk to you at 9 o'clock. We're setting clients up with appointments so that then they can go put some of that $50,000. We just got you $50,000. Let's liquidate that. Put 25 of it over here in ABC Bank of Houston. Put another 20 over here in your Bank of America. Now, you use that as operating capital. What that means, it's not free money, but that is operating capital. So now these two banks, they see that you're working, you've got money here. You've made a deposit, you're pulling it out, you're putting it back in, pulling it out, putting it back in. You're doing your thing over the next, say, 90 days. In 90 days, we go back to those two banks, and guess what? They see that we're making money. We're now eligible for lines of credit. You run the same thing with the lines of credit. With lines of credit, then you say, oh, okay, well, now we have $70, $80, $100,000 in a line of credit. Well, with the $100,000 in a line of credit, then you get to say, well, now I can operate on a much higher level. Most people never get past level 1. You can operate on a much higher level then because you get bigger lines of credit. Then you're moving around 6 to 8 months, and then you're eligible for SBA financing. That's where it gets sexy with the extra low interest rates, and then everybody wants to loan you money because now you're cash fluid. So you've just operated the cheat code in 6 to 8 months. Now, the way that you were talking about building your business credit score, between my businesses, I've had access to over $1 million in capital and never once showed a bank statement. I'm sorry, never once showed any type of like a income statement. Never. Why? Because with what that means is that they're looking at the history, they're looking at the transactions, they're looking at whether we have income, they're looking at whether we're going to pay it back. And most of the time, they're loaning money to you because they want to see if you're going to keep doing good. Because they're not going to lose their money. They're still going to get their money. So if someone loans you $50,000, of course they want to get it back, but you're still a liability to them. So they want to keep loaning to you to see what's going to happen because those banks don't make money until they loan the money out. So when you build using your personal credit first, your limits are always going to be a lot higher because it's built on a person that owns a business versus a business that can be fabricated. Credit can be fabricated and manipulated. Business credit scores, fabricated and manipulated. Business credit scores can be built just by saying, oh, I want to go out and get 5 net 30 accounts, right? Quill, Uline, Uline. Yeah. All those where you pay them every 30 days and they're going to report to your business credit score. Well, that's a very hard way to build my business credit score because I don't need a $75 broom. What am I doing with this after I get it? I remember trying to build my business credit like that. I had a snow shovel. Well, I lived in Durham, so I'm not getting anywhere where I need to shovel snow. So I'm buying snow shovels and industrial brooms. I don't need that, right? So it's like you can build it that way, but build it in a way, and yes, you'll have the great scores that you need to qualify. But if you use yourself as a personal guarantee, then Bank of America, if you have a credit score of 701, Bank of America will give you 4 auto loans on your business side just for having 3 months of bank statements with them. 701, 4 auto loans. Not you go and you're like, oh, well, let me go shop and see if I can get it. They'll give you 4 auto loans. And those auto loans can total up to $140,000. So it's like with all of those products, it's always easier to leverage you than it is to go and try to create some type of fabricated number, because you're going to be able to manipulate your deposits, withdrawals, transactions better than you'll be able to say, Uline, are you going to report for me this month? You buying t-shirts and stuff you don't need. Like you putting websites on there that don't even work no more, right? Like and I've been down that road. So we are under the principles of like, let's build out your personal credit from personal score above, and then we'll go from there. Did that answer your question in completion? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Anybody else?
You answered my question with that response.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Good deal. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. So far, have you guys elevated? You ready to elevate to the next level? I'm glad you came. Awesome. Well, this is a game changer right here. So Jay-Z has been, since COVID? Yeah. We started masterminding on a weekly basis. He's a realtor out of Connecticut. And today was the first day we met in person.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. We're really close, too.
Yes. And Jay-Z likes to work smart, not harder. And I think that's why I love him the most. But he also likes to have time with his family, but he likes to make money. So he is like, I need an engine, a tool that can give me all of that. And so he's going to be talking with Mo about a new CRM system called Leadling that you all can take advantage of, because he literally has dumped his whole brain into the system, which I love.
so cool.
And I just plug in
Sounds
and
so
just
cool.
do. And let me just say, before we get started, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you have saved me years. Okay, years. But not only that, you have also saved me money. You have given me money back into my business, and I appreciate you for that. So, we'd like to introduce Jay-Z and Mo as the moderator.
All right. Let's take this. Thank you.
You guys need water?
All good for now.
Yeah, I'll say thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. All right.
All right.
All right. So before we, and first of all, like speaking to you today and talking to you over the past few weeks is like, I can't wait to talk to this guy because I know he's going to get super techie. And I love super techie because there are some things that you talk about that often go over my head, which encourages me to say, oh, wait, I didn't know that. Let me see. Let me go look. You know, so I just appreciate you for that in your regard. But I want to jump right in here.
Let's do it.
So first, like, let's just talk about who you are, where Leadling came from. Like,
Yeah.
just let's jump in there.
All right. So, going back 5 years ago, I'm in the hospital. We just had an emergency C-section. My wife is not going to be working. I'm looking at an empty pipeline. I just changed brokerages, and I'm holding my newborn son that morning, and I've got a laptop on my lap, and I'm waiting for my Zoom room to load for my first coaching call. So it was, but my dad's an entrepreneur, and he traveled a lot, wasn't home a lot. Well, he was home, he did the best he could. I wanted to be there more, right? So I wanted to figure out a way I could put my wife through college, give her the motherhood that she was looking for, right? Because in my opinion, first 5 years of life, that's time, mom time. You know, I'll get them when they're playing sports, you know.
The fun stuff.
Yeah. I get them when they're playing sports. So I wanted to support that, but also put her through college. So, so what did I do? I got a coach, started cold calling. That July, I made 10,000 phone calls.
10,000 phone calls.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever made cold calls? Like, you just smile and dial? Okay. Has anybody ever did 10,000?
No.
Okay, yeah, me either. It's like,
I got a 10-line dialer, and I figured it out. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I went from doing like 12 units that year. I did previous year I did like 15 that year. Not huge growth. Same thing the next year, but I went from like 3.5 million in production to 5.5 the next year. Then I plugged in a follow-up system. So if you think about what I did, I spent 2 years growing a database.
sure.
Because I kept all of those numbers. I stayed in touch with those people. Problem was that it was manual follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
So when my production came in, I now have to operate, right? So what do I stop doing?
Following
Making
up.
phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first thing that goes, right? I want to make them, but I got deals to close,
Yeah.
right? So once I plugged in that system to that existing rich database, that next year I did 10 million in production and 30 units.
Nice.
So I doubled my production. And what's fascinating about that, and where I'm most proud of it, is I took off 2 days a week in the middle of the week, and then I was off on the weekends. So my wife was going for a master's degree, so I was there with my boys 2 days a week in the middle of the week. So I only worked 3 days a week to do that. I had a I mean, I was spending $3,500 a month on the system to run it. So probably, if you count the VA, 4,000, right? So I really wanted to take that and make it available to other people, right? Give you a system that you can take relationships, whatever your way of prospecting is. It doesn't have to be cold calling. You know, you meet people at an open house, put them in the top, you know, run the nurture on them. It's a system that takes what the prospect wants to talk about and turns it into consistent relationships throughout their customer journey, so that, and then gives you the information to know when to reach out to them, so you can make that. 90% of sales is timing. So you get that timing, you get the analytics on what they're looking at to improve that conversation, so that you're having the better conversation at the better time for that conversion. So, and then it's a compounding asset. It turns your database into a compounding asset.
And here we are.
And here we are.
I love it. I love it. And while you were building this, let's zoom out on what you actually saw that was wrong inside of the business, where you said, hey, I got to come in and fix this, like follow-up processes, opportunity separation. Like, every client is different. All their needs are different. But what made you say, like, hey, you know what, I need to identify these problems so I can create an actual system for myself?
Well, back when I was a brand new agent, you know, you'd go to new agent training, and they're like, all right, so what do you need to do? I was like, take out your phone and make phone calls. I was like, all right, so what do I just, like, start at A? Like, just, what do I talk to them about? You know what I mean? Hey, I just got into the real estate business. You want to buy something?
Yeah.
Like,
Looking for a house?
looking for a house?
Okay.
Do you know anybody looking for a house?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can do that, and I don't love that, right? So what does a process look like where I would know who to call and I could have a relevant conversation out of the gate? What I did was I just took a database of people and I put them on listing alerts. That drove them to my website. So now I know all of the people that I sent emails to that are now going to my website. That's the first phone call, right? Hey, I just got into real estate. I saw that you logged into my website. I noticed that you're really looking a lot in Middletown. Are you thinking of other towns? You know, what has you thinking about real estate? I know it's been a long time since we last spoke. I'm so sorry about that. Been a little crazy. Just had 2 kids, you know. Tell me more. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
It's
so is that the premise of what Leadling does? Like, from beginning to end, tell us about the actual
sure.
system.
So it's a 3-tiered model, right? Basic, core, and advanced. And I designed it to mirror the timeline of my career, right? In the beginning, I was running basic, right? It was the container. I was collecting all of those contacts in there, right? It was getting them in. It was categorizing them. It was organizing them through pipelines and opportunities and where they're supposed to be. So that when I eventually did plug them into that automated follow-up system, because you either have time or you've got money. You usually don't have both.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
That's
So when I had the time, I did more of the manual work. That's basic. Then once I had a little bit more money and I was able to afford the follow-up system and the structure,
Right.
then you have core, right? So then that system that sends out the listing alerts gives you the priority surfacing. So priority surfacing is viewed a house more than 3 times. They visited the website after 90 days of inactivity. They did interesting things that you should be aware of to make the timely phone call, right? Then advanced is, now AI is taking those priority signals and reaching out for you,
Yeah, there we go. There we go. And
Can we
like-
say that again? That was a mic drop. Can you say that
yeah,
again?
there
All
we
right,
go.
So what makes a better conversation is the information that you have, right? If you really think about like a relationship with a person, it's like, why does it get deep? It gets deep because you have context into that person's life, right? Well, what if, and this goes back to my hotel days, because I was a food and beverage director, was my previous career, so we had an open table. So I was working at pretty high-end places, four diamond or better resorts, and when I was at the Relais and Chateau in upstate New York, we would go as far as writing notes of what they had for dinner. Like, so when you'd come back into the restaurant, it would be like, hey, sir, welcome back. We know that it's your anniversary. We're so happy to have you. We have a bottle of Veuve Clicquot already sitting at the table because we know that you really enjoyed that when we had it the last time you were here. Don't worry, we already told the chef about your dietary restrictions, and we're ready for you to have an incredible evening here. All notes in the system. Well, what if you put those notes into the background section of your CRM and you pushed it to AI? What type of a conversation would you be able to have? Website, now you're pushing that, the conversational context, in addition to the website activity. By the way, the AI plugs into the IDX feeds, so it can talk to you about houses, update your searches, all of that.
I love it. I love it. And let's even switch gears but stay in the same lane.
All right.
Let's zoom out a little bit and talk about the monetary perspective and what that does for your business. Because most agents are like the fortune is in the follow-up.
Yeah.
Right? And not only is the fortune in the follow-up, the fortune is in how you follow up. So learning how that client communicates. Every client is not going to read a text message, but they may return emails. Every client might not read their text messages, but they may answer the phone. So how does all of this for Leadling translate into the technology financially for the agent?
So when you ask that question, my mind goes to cost per leads
Yep.
and compounding returns over a couple of years while you're running the system. Is that that's where you want me to go?
That's exactly
All
where
right.
I want you to go. Like,
right.
like I want to know how much does this thing cost me not to have?
Okay, so for me, it was 15 deals to 30 deals in a year. It was 5 million in production to 12 million in production, right?
It's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, and the first year I plugged it in, I started running Google pay-per-click ads, which were about $30 a lead. I was spending $1,000 a month. I don't know what that's like, 60 to 70 leads a month. And my first year, I was able to close an additional 4 units on those specific type of leads. The next year, I closed 12. So when I'm talking about compounding returns, right? Why did I decide to do paid leads? Because I don't have to sit there and call, right? And I also don't need to. I mean, we all went through COVID, right? Trying to figure out who's moving. I remember those early on conversations. It was like, all right, the D's, divorce, diapers, and what was the other one? It was divorce, diapers, and there was another D. There was a third D. I know there was a third D. But so how do you target those people?
Yeah.
Well, if you're buying website activity consistently, your business auto shifts to whoever is moving at that time.
Yes.
They're thinking about real estate. They just
Yes.
went shopping. So, one of the thoughts I had about this in the beginning was, the people within my database without that tends to look like me on paper, right? I was a first-time home buyer. I didn't have a ton of cash, like all that, right? Well, I want to sell $1 million homes,
Yeah.
right? So how do I get into that? I'm just going to buy website traffic in the areas that I know where those people live, and I'll figure it out from there.
There you go.
Right? So I went from a $180,000 price point. Now my average price point is $475. And I know we had COVID appreciation, but my median sales price in Hartford County is $370. So I was below my median sales price, and now I'm well above it, right? All because of, I got very intentional about what was coming in the top of my funnel.
There you go.
And then I got very intentional about my follow-up after the fact. And because I don't care where you are in the country, I don't care your age, I don't care about your story. I mean, I do in conversation, but in strategy, I don't. It's the same conversation. You want to talk about houses. Center the conversation around houses. Person gives, they log into your website. Thank you so much for coming to my website. I wanted to give you a phone call, introduce myself, let you know there's a person behind it. And it's a private and protected search portal. I'm not trying to sell your information like Zillow, Realtor, and the others are. So it's a safe place to search. Just want to let you to know that. And also, I see that you were looking a lot in Middletown. What other areas are you interested in? How can I make these lists that I'm sending you better? End of the script. Well, I have everything here. I'm going to send you a list of homes. It's totally natural that throughout this process that your preferences are going to change.
Sure.
So I'm going to check in with you periodically if that's okay with you. They always say yes. And yeah, they do. Why wouldn't you, right? I want houses.
Yeah.
So, and it's a safe place for me to look, and I only have to talk to this guy. My phone's not going to blow up if I push a button on a website. Awesome, right?
That's exactly right.
Right. And then that tees you up for your follow-up conversations.
And well, so far, let's pause for a second. Any questions so far? Okay, good, because I have plenty more. So I wanna zoom back in a little more into the different levels. And you talked about how you were at different levels in your business, and the system is designed for the user, the agent, to go from basic, core to advanced. But explain what that looks like in detail. Like year one would be the basic. Like explain what that looks like.
Yeah, so year one, I was doing a ton of open houses. I was bugging everyone that I knew. And I was just doing everything that I could to find people to want to do business with me. That's the early years, right? But you need to, as you're meeting all of those people, you have to pull them in and you've got to categorize them. Where they live, what they were interested in terms of what their search was, what zip codes they were looking in, if you can get context on their life. Because when I was doing heavy cold calling, right, I broke down the conversations to like almost a scientific level, if you haven't noticed, right? Yeah. And what I noticed is like a coach explained it to me this way. Let's say I'm moving to Greece and I want to have that beach body or whatever, right? And you're the coach that's going to help me get there, right? Well, the coach needs to know that I'm trying to go to Greece, so when it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm trying to throw up weight and I don't want to do it, they can whisper in my ear the motivation.
Sure.
So when they don't have credit, when they all of a sudden the husband and wife are fighting over something during the transaction, or underwriting's taking too long or whatever, you can be that coach reminding them, hey, wait, all right, let's zoom out. Let's take a look at this and remind me again, what was the reason you were moving, right? Okay, and does this house solve for the life, for the reason that you're moving? Still, is it still true? Yes. Okay, so then we weather the storm, right? That's right. And so being able to get that in the sales process, early funnel, I mean, I'm talking about bottom funnel there, but top of the funnel, it's the same thing. So in those follow-up phone calls, it's, hey, just checking in. We've been sending you lists of homes for a while now. I just want to make sure that those are still lining up with your search. You have a conversation about that.
And all that's still in basic?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Good catch. You're a good moderator. I'm going off on tangents here. Yeah. So, but the language is still the same. You can use your MLS search and to have these conversations. When I was using the MLS and someone would log into my portal, I'd get a notification, right? And then when you do get to core, you can extract from your MLS what those searches were. And then you can just mass assign everybody to the same searches you had in the MLS. But your analytics will be better because now you're having priority surfacing, which is what I was explaining before, right? So it supercharges that business. But you gotta get to I quit my job income,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And what does that look like?
That's defined by everybody.
No.
differently.
But I'm talking about like as far as the system goes, what does that look like? So transitioning,
Okay.
what does that transition look like?
So I'm gonna go from the top. Are you asking more of
Yeah.
a technology question of like how the lead flows
like
through?
the actual switch from where the agent says, I'm ready to move to core now.
So you let us know. You push a button. We deploy the assets into your account. You are now connected to the IDX through your CRM. You take that file from your MLS or from wherever you had it. You can do a default search. So one of the things that I was doing before, if I never talked to the lead, I would just do, all right, all of what county are we in?
York.
All right,
Yeah.
we're in York County. We're gonna do all of York County. What's the median sales price here? 475. All right, we're gonna go between. I don't like putting tops. Why would we ever cap it, right? You want people looking as high as possible. So we're gonna do a floor.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
We'll do
There
a
we go.
floor of 400.
There we go.
Right? And we'll do a minimum. I mean, our average beds in Connecticut is 3 beds of the houses that we're selling. So do the floor there. Assign everybody to that list. Everyone.
Perfect.
They're all getting emails now of the list. I'm gonna look at that. Like, wow, you see these photos? This is nice. I'm gonna look at that. You go over, logs you in. You get gated to log in after you're looking at so many houses with TCPA compliant language that, by the way, mentions by giving us your information, you're consenting to AI texting, AI calling, drip texting, voicemail drops, automated dialers, all regulated technology. And if they're on the do not call list, they just gave you permission to call them.